Hey North Texas, welcome to the Fan Sports Show.
It doesn't take much for people to get excited about being in New Orleans. Folks, kick it up a notch, though, when their favorite football team is playing in the Super Bowl. Kaepernicking, Steve Dennis. Would it be tough for you to kiss your biceps like that?
No, I don't have to move my head far at all. They just, bam,
yeah,
right
they're
there.
So massive. New Orleans knows how to do it just about any day. This is the 10th Super Bowl the city has hosted. The first, though, since Hurricane Katrina. Welcome back to the second half hour of the Fan Sports Show. Steve, you know how I feel about this.
Yeah, you wish you were there.
I wish I was there, and I believe that New Orleans should host all these big events.
I do too.
Don't you?
That's been my theory for years. Final Four, New Orleans. Super Bowl, New Orleans. No other city should be in the contest.
It's quick, it's easy, the city knows how to handle the masses, good food, good people.
It's a great place to spend a week or a weekend, as you know, about 18 times a year.
And there's a problem with that?
Well,
can I tell you?
good life if you got it.
It's so easy to get to from Dallas-Fort Worth. I've spent so many weekends there that we almost... I'll just say we spend too much time there.
You and I have actually chest bumped near the blackjack table in New Orleans.
Is that too much information?
No, we used to... No, it's not too much information. Are you denying it?
No, I'm not. No, I own our chest bumping proudly. In fact, we might chest bump tonight to close the Fan Sports Show. Something tells me that's going to happen. Everyone is kind of wondering what is going to happen with the Pro Football Hall of Fame later this year. That is because the voters will vote tomorrow and elect 5 men into that hallowed hall. And the Cowboys could have up to 3 men with Cowboys ties representing them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame later this year. Former Cowboys offensive lineman Larry Allen, former defensive lineman Charles Haley, and former Cowboys head coach Bill Parcells are all up for election tomorrow.
There's no way you can miss on Larry Allen. When you talk about top 5 offensive linemen to ever play the game, Larry fits in that category. Charles should get in there. I mean, he's got right at 100 sacks or over, got 5 Super Bowl rings. You had to prepare for him. But during the game, when we played against him, when he was with the 49ers, we spent a portion of every meetings, film study, looking at this guy.
Let's bring in Bill Jones to kick off our Hall of Fame discussion. He's back in the TXA 21 studios. Bill, I'm going with a very hot sports opinion here. I'm saying Larry Allen is a lock first-time Hall of Famer. First ballot, I should say.
Yes, I would have to agree, although this is a very good class, the finalists are very good. I think every one of them is deserving of being in the Hall of Fame, but I think Larry Allen is for sure a lock. It remains, but you look at the 4 first-year eligible guys this year, and you can make a real good case for all 4 of those guys, and that includes Jonathan Ogden, Warren Sapp, and Michael Strahan, too.
And Steve, I think Strahan, Sapp, and Ogden all get in as well, in addition to Larry Allen. So then you got one more guy left.
One of those receivers needs to get in eventually,
Chris
don't
Carter,
they?
Tim Brown.
Jonesy, tell me that Tim Brown or Chris Carter has a shot, in your opinion.
I think Chris Carter has the better shot of the 3, include Andre Reed in there too. But I've been saying that for the last 2 or 3 years since they've all been eligible at the same time, especially when you look ahead to see other receivers that are going to be eligible starting next year, and they have a real good chance of being left out. So it's going to be real interesting to see. The problem with the whole thing, I think, is there are so many deserving modern-era players and only 5 spots every year. And then you've got guys like Bill Parcells, Art Modell, Eddie DeBartolo, who also go into the mix with the modern-era players. I think they need to change the rules on it and have 5 each year that are modern-era and then make special exemptions for the Bill Parcells of the world.
So Bill Parcells is going to be left out once again. Charles Haley left out once again. Is that by our math?
I'm not sure I agree with you on Parcells.
Really?
I don't think Haley makes it. In fact, I'm starting to think that Charles Haley will never make it.
Because why?
Well, I don't know. You know, it's hard for me. I wasn't here in those Dallas years. I just know my opinion of Charles Haley from not being here, and he never struck me as a Hall of Fame type guy. You know, now you hear stories about how the media got along with him. But again, that's not for me to say. I don't know how valuable he was to the Dallas Cowboys. I wasn't here in those days. But Parcells, to me, is a shoo-in. I mean, he's got to get in the Hall of Fame, right?
Is that going to happen this year?
I think so. Bill, you?
I thought it would happen last year. I think he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. and it might happen this year. I think he probably has the better chance of those that we've talked about. I agree with you, though, Steve, on Charles Haley. I know a lot of people around here talk about Haley's influence on the Dallas defense back in the Super Bowl years. But if you look in 1992 and 1993 with the Cowboys, he was the third leading sack guy on the team. Now, a lot of people say, well, Jim Jeffcoat led the team in sacks. Tony Tolbert had so many because of what the offenses had to do with Charles Haley on the other side. But I don't think he gets in based on what he did with the Cowboys. It's the 5 rings that would get Charles Haley in. But I agree with you, with the media voting on this thing, the chances of Charles Haley getting in are not good.
You're exactly right there. And the rings are his biggest case to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But he did have a very sour relationship with the media, and it's been interesting watching it turn over the past couple of years since he has been a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Bill Parcells, I have to tell you, I was kind of surprised that he didn't get in last year. I remember watching the announcement, hearing about Curtis Martin getting in. Parcells went on to present Curtis Martin in the enshrinement ceremony last year. I thought, gosh, I wonder how bitter Bill is right now.
Well, then you get into that first ballot thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think only certain guys should be first ballot guys, which is why I disagree with you guys thinking Ogden and Sapp are going to get in.
Really?
I don't think they're first ballot guys. Larry Allen is a definite first ballot guy. Those guys are rare, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be upset if Ogden and Sapp, and I can't even remember the other one you mentioned.
Michael Strahan.
Strahan, yeah. That's close. But I would rather see Parcells, Allen, and 2 of those receivers get in this year, Carter and Tim Brown. Tim Brown should be in the Hall of Fame. That guy was a dynamic impact player for a decade. I can't believe he's not in the Hall of Fame. From a fan point of view, I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look ahead, and this is not what we are supposed to do, but can we put the over-under on number of minutes, the length of minutes of Larry Allen's speech when he is enshrined? Bill?
You said minutes or seconds?
Good point.
I think the over-under needs to be how many seconds, and so if you put 30 seconds on it, I would say under.
Oh, my God.
That is going to be worth watching, actually. I'm glad you brought that up. I have to make sure and watch that. He may blossom a little. He's very quiet, but Larry can talk.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and this may give him the inspiration to blossom a little.
I've done a number of interviews with him, and during the Cowboys Silver and Blue debut, during training camp this year, we did a one-on-one interview. We talked for a whole minute and 15 seconds. A minute 15, that was more than I ever spoke to him on camera when I worked for the Dallas Cowboys or covered the team as well.
It's just like Leon Lett. I mean, Leon Lett's on the coaching staff now, and you can have great conversations with the guy. I'm going, Leon, you didn't say 3 words in that locker room. He goes, yeah, I was shy, and I didn't like you guys.
And now he loves this. Bill, don't go anywhere because I know you want to see this video. Everybody wants to see this. It is Beyonce. She will be performing at halftime of the Super Bowl on Sunday, and she addressed the issue as to whether she did or did not lip sync at the inauguration yesterday during her press conference in New Orleans.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, so Beyonce came out to all the media in New Orleans, the throng, and she said, you know what? I can sing the national anthem. Check it out, my friends.
You know, that is a good-looking woman.
That's the only reason we got this in, was for you guys at home watching.
There's nothing else to say. Good-looking woman.
That's all you got?
That
He's a simple man. He really is. But now, Steve, you are one of those people who appreciates the value of an authentic performer. Did you care that she might have lip-synced at the inauguration? Did you care about that at all?
No, because I've never done it. You know, I'm not a singer. I don't know what that entails. But at the inauguration, she made the point that it was very important for her to impress the president and the country. I could see that.
I'd want to impress the president and the millions of people watching, too.
Yeah. You know, if the sound's not going to be good.
And the thing is, we know she can sing, and she proved it yesterday in New Orleans. Now, do you have a favorite Beyonce song?
I don't know any Beyonce songs.
But you know all of her moves. How does that happen?
I mean, I'll notice, but I don't know if I could name you a Beyonce song.
Could you do the dance to All the Single Ladies?
No.
Blank stare
No.
over here.
Yeah, I don't.
You've got no clue. Okay. Well, we know one of the big storylines about Super Bowl 47 is the fact that for the first time in a championship game, it is two brothers going head-to-head as coaches, Jim and John Harbaugh, coaching the 49ers and the Ravens. What is that like? Well, Babe Loffenberg examines it.
Gina, after a full week of talk down here in New Orleans, yeah, they're going to play the game here in just about 48 hours in that little building behind me. It will be rocking, and it should be a heck of a good football game. Okay, anyone who has brothers, and I've got 3 of them, knows there is a competition for everything. The first one to the end of the block. Who gets the last chicken wing? Who can throw the ball the farthest? And, of course, who mom likes best. I hate to break it to my brothers, but that would be me, by the way. Never has there been a competition, though, to see which brother could coach his team to a Super Bowl title. But that's exactly what we have here, as John Harbaugh will lead his Ravens, while younger brother Jim will be in the opposite side of the field, leading his 49ers.
We are fiercely loyal, there's no doubt. I think we'd all say that, you know, not just of one another, and we always have been. You know, that's definitely not ever going to change. We will continue to be fiercely loyal and protective of one another, but also of our teams. And Jim had mentioned earlier in the week, he talked about the brotherhood, the band of brothers, the brothers that'll take the field. St. Crispin's Day speech, he's got it memorized. It's unbelievable. It's brilliant. And that's true. You know, the band of brothers will be the brothers on the sideline. It'll be the Ravens sideline, it'll be the 49ers sideline. That'll be the band of brothers in this competition.
Nothing like a little sibling rivalry there, by the way. Okay, tonight at 10 on CBS 11, Danny White. He took his team to 3 NFC championship games. He could never quite get them over the hump. He'll talk about that as we sat down one-on-one for a special introspective look at Danny White's career. That's coming up on CBS 11 News at 10. For now, we'll send it back to Gina.
Thanks, Babe. Looking forward to that. Coming up next, we're all weighing in with our predictions. We're making it official. Who is going to win? Who should win? Well, either team should win, really. Who will win? They're capable of it. I've mangled this tease so much, I'm just going to move right along. And because I mangled it so much, I want you to weigh in. What do you think of the job we're doing here? Tweet us at hashtag TXA21Fan. What do you think of the job Jerry's doing? That and more we will read right here on TXA21 with your tweets. Coming up next, we're eating. That's the best part of the thing, isn't it?
That's why you're all
That's why I'm all verklempt. And we're drinking, too, when we come back on the Fan Sports Show.